Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's time for another Project Betty White video. Here we go. If you've been following along, you know that this thing needs something done with those upper caliber bolts for the brakes. And after doing a little bit of research, I didn't like any of the options that anybody came up with, so we're just going to replace them. Not the caliber bolts. Tried that already. It's definitely the threads inside the steering knuckles. So let's order some new steering knuckles, but first we're gonna have to tear this thing apart again. So the parts we're going to have to take off. Of course, we're going to have to take the calipers off. We're going to have to rip the rotors off. And the tie rod ends, those got to come apart, which came apart pretty easy because we just put them together the other day. We like this little trick. We don't even use the fork on them. We just hit it with the BFH right on the corner. They tend to just drop right out. Then to access those wheel bearings, I'm going to take that nut off the front of the axle, off the stub shaft. And that's not terribly hard. Sprayed everything down with PB Blaster before we were getting to it. Next part, wheel bearings. And there's 3 studs on the back of there. Run them out, and they're those special 12.13 millimeter something or another's. Sprayed everything down with PB Blaster, and then it was time to start banging on that wheel bearing to get it out. We're replacing it, so just bang away. Now the driver's side fought us a little bit, but it wasn't bad. Little taps. I know he's got his little mini sledge there, and that's his BFH, but it really wasn't that bad. When you're hitting the stub shaft of the axle, you gotta be careful. You don't want to mar up those threads or give it a real bad flat spot, because then it's a pain in the butt to get that nut back on. But it came apart pretty easy, and he had it out in no time. Now it was time to move on to the passenger side, and it seemed as if it was froze up. Like the rust and corrosion had locked that stub shaft axle into that wheel bearing assembly, and it just wouldn't come apart. He hit it a few times and tried to get it apart, and it just wasn't happening. So I stepped in, and I was determined to get this thing apart. We PB blastered it. I heated it up with the torch. Nothing seemed to even get it to budge. So I had the bright idea of getting the nut and putting the nut back on it. Well, at this point I had hit it so many times that I marred up that head, and getting that nut on, I ended up putting it on cross-threaded, and I kind of knew in the back of my head I was going to have to buy some more parts, but you know, it was a moral victory. I was going to get this thing apart. And you can see everybody standing around. We're defeated. We've been hammering on this thing all afternoon. We've been heating it up, letting it soak, beating on it some more. Finally, I just was like, hell with it. I'm going to get the big sledgehammer. And it's coming apart. And I hit it and I hit it and nothing. It wouldn't even budge. I did not get that thing to move at all. So we're calling it junk. Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy a stub shaft. So, unfortunately, not the easiest thing to do in the world, but had to take the U-joint apart with the bearing still on there. But we got it apart, and now Caleb knows how to take U-joints apart on the stub shaft. So, I guess that's a good thing. One more lesson he learned. I wasn't happy though. Ended up going on and finding one on eBay, and it wasn't terrible. It was like $28. I mean, you can't beat that. It's used, of course, so I ordered that, and course, their lead time is a week till they even ship it, so it'll be a while till I get that, and I'm not the most patient person. So then I went on to Amazon, found one for $50, a brand new one Spicer, so that should be here in a day or two. But anyway. Well, now it's cleanup 30, and as you can see, sitting in the yard, yeah, there it is, that piece of crap stub shaft attached to that wheel bearing that will never come apart. Get everything cleaned up, wait for this guy to show up with my new parts. I need a little therapy. This is depressing. Time to hit the therapy store. You can't take ball joints apart without a ball joint press, and I know where they got those. So we may have purchased a few other things while we were there, but hey, I feel better now. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for watching our videos, and my subscribers, thank you very much. Can't wait for the next part. Maybe we'll actually get something done next time. Go anywhere, do anything.